Dag juryleden van de Creative Belgium Awards. Dit is het verhaal van Nello en Patrache. Een verhaal van vriendschap tussen de jonge Nello en zijn hond Patrache. Het verhaal speelt zich helemaal in Antwerpen af. En ja, sorry om het einde al te verklappen, maar ze sterven in de kathedraal voor het schilderij van Rubens. Wist u dat dit het meest gelezen verhaal over Vlaanderen is ter wereld? Dat er meer dan 100 miljoen exemplaren van het boek wereldwijd zijn verkocht? Dat het vertaald is in meer dan 25 talen? Dat er 5 Hollywoodfilms geproduceerd zijn van dit verhaal? En daarbovenop een tekenfilmserie waar wekelijks 30 miljoen Japanners naar keken? Maar bij ons kent niemand het. De toeristen die hier komen vinden het zo jammer dat er niks mee wordt gedaan. Daar gingen wij iets aan doen. Nello was een creatieveling, net als jullie. Hij tekende en schilderde graag. In het originele verhaal was het ook de burgemeester die een wedstrijd organiseerde voor alle kunstenaars in Antwerpen. Dit hebben we opnieuw gedaan, maar dan in het echt. Samen met een burgemeester lanceerden we de wedstrijd Ontwerp een standbeeld van onze 2 helden, waarbij hun vriendschap in de kijker wordt gezet. Uit alle inzendingen koos de jury het ontwerp van Baptiste Vermeulen, een Gentenaar. Dit was een van de toppers van de winter van Antwerpen, met meer dan 1 miljoen bezoekers. De onthulling was, prachtig. Met een videoprojectie en al op de kathedraal. Ik had er gewoon moeten bij zijn. Met een budget van 40.000 euro hebben we meer dan 240.000 euro gratis publiciteit gekregen. TV, kranten, magazines, offline en online. Toeristen en Antwerpenaren brengen hier nu elke dag hun ode aan de vriendschap. #StoryOfFriendship. Het is nu al het meest gefotografeerde beeld van de stad. Wanneer kom jij eens kijken? Je moet er niet spoeien, hè? Het ligt hier voor altijd.
Classical music is the ancestor of almost all music we know and like today, like R&B and trance and hip-hop and EDM. So it's really a pity that people have lost connection to this beautiful and rich cultural heritage.
Clara, Belgium's classical radio station, wanted to introduce more people to classical music. But the problem is, where should you start? Introducing Clarify, a new tool that translates your favorite music into classical music. It's easy. Go to Clarify and connect your Spotify account. Now, Clarify shows your own playlists, so you can choose one to clarify. Then, Clarify scans your playlist. The result is a list of classical pieces that correspond with your music and explains why this piece might be something for you. We launched this brand new tool with a TV campaign.
Clara presents Clarify. Clarify starts with your favorite music, Dan for instance, and then searches for corresponding classical music. Beethoven for instance. Try it yourself. Go to clara.be and clarify your favorite music. Clara, stay amazed.
Radio spots.
Hou je van de White Stripes? Dan hou je misschien ook van Anton Broekner.
Print. And online films showing famous Belgians testing the tool.
Omdat je het bijzondere stemgeluid van T-Rex en David Bowie kan waarderen, de meest markante uitgesproken stemmen van de klassieke muziek.
Clarify was picked up immediately by national media and received a lot of enthusiastic comments. The amount of listeners almost doubled, and their average age dropped by 10 years. Try it yourself on clarify.be.
Worldwide, 48 million people suffer from Alzheimer's. Most campaigns just describe the symptoms. Our campaign tries to prevent them. Research shows reading has the power to slow down the progress of dementia, particularly in the early stages. So how can we keep patients reading as long as possible? Introducing Simplified Stories. We relaunched the biography of Belgian superstar Stromae in a simplified version, based on the advice of field experts Paradox and the University of Antwerp. People with dementia have trouble reading difficult sentences. We simplified and shortened them, cutting almost 8,000 words, but keeping the essence. They have problems remembering the storyline. We started each chapter with a summary of the previous chapter. For people with dementia, it's difficult to follow the chain of events. We used pictures chronologically to visualize the story, and we ended each page with a one-sentence summary of that page. They have trouble remembering names and details. We limited them. And finally, we gave structure by giving each chapter a color. Simplified Stories was presented during a symposium in the presence of Alzheimer's patients. It was praised by the Belgian press, and it got the support of the Minister of Health, and it got people with dementia reading again.
Als ik niet meer zou lezen, denk ik dat het moeilijker en moeilijker zal worden.
So we're not only creating awareness about Alzheimer's, we've created something that helps to slow it down. Simplified Stories.
I'm very symmetrical. I can shoot from, any angle, which is actually very rare.
Hey guys, Matt and Shaven.
Enchanté.
Enchanté. Such a journey to go from a mild-mannered accountant, crunching numbers, pushing the pens, being a yes man, to being my own man.
Sometimes just life feels slightly unreal and you think, is this me? Is this my life? Is this really happening? Yes, it is. Am I going to be in the IKEA catalogue? Yes, I am.
I'm really excited. I'm so excited. This is a big deal.
It's kind of hard to get my head around, actually. If you think about it, 220 million people are going to see this on a daily basis.
I can't see what you're seeing, but you can see my whole face, right?
Definitely.
It's a lot of pressure on me to be the best man shaven that I can be.
220 million people. Wow.
That's really? A lot of catalogues. And my 5-year-old son, he's very inquisitive. He's like, Daddy, what are you doing? What's all the makeup and stuff? I'm like, listen, son, Dad's famous now. You know?
Reality shows, TV shows, whatever it is, drama, acting, more modelling.
I don't think there's any way I'm going to get away with not being recognised by everyone.
Right, so we've got to go.
If there's anything I could be doing differently to make it more convincing that I'm a shaver, you let me know, yeah? I'm your vessel.
This is the props.
Yeah.
So this might not even be real food. You'd never really know.
Move a little bit to your left, please.
Here?
Yep. Perfect.
I could be in the next IKEA catalogue and the next one after that and literally the face of IKEA.
Is someone going to do my makeup?
Can you just turn to your right, please?
Right.
A bit. Yeah. Perfect.
The new IKEA catalogue, full of famous furniture.
After Brussels was linked to the terrorist attacks in Paris, the international media portrayed Brussels as the capital of terrorism, and many tourists cancelled their trip.
Don't go out on the street and don't go into high concentrated areas of people. Brussels is a city in lockdown.
It's all turned normally busy Brussels into a fortified ghost town.
Visit Brussels. The Brussels Tourism Board wanted to change this negative perception with an honest answer.
Hello, do you speak English?
Yeah.
Did you see some people fighting with gun or bomb on the street?
How is life in Brussels? Ask someone in Brussels. Billboards with integrated phones were placed in Brussels, including one in Molenbeek, where some of the Paris attackers lived. We targeted foreigners with a bannering campaign, using travel sites all over Europe. From a microsite, people could choose a location, see live streams, and make a free call to ask passers-by what life was really like in Brussels. And this is how Brussels answered.
Oh my God! Hi!
Where are you from?
Yeah, I'm from Portugal.
You're coming from Brazil!
We have hi from Germany. I can see you. Can you see me?
Oh, that one. Si tu veux venir à Molenbeek, t'es le bienvenu. N'écoute pas si CNN ni BBC ni rien du tout.
During 5 days, people in Brussels reassured thousands of tourists and showed the world that Brussels is safe.
It seems to work quite well, although it's actually very popular, so it's actually quite hard to get a place in the line to talk to these people. All the phones are pretty much engaged all the time.
Just do it. Just do it. Hop on the plane. Do it.
And there's waffles, and you can't say no to waffles.
Look up here, I'm in heaven. I've got scars that can't be seen.
When David Bowie died, there were many tributes, but only one that touched so many people. Belgian radio station Studio Brussels gave the Starman his very own constellation. Together with the Royal Observatory of Belgium, Studio Brussels identified 7 stars in the form of Bowie's iconic thunderbolt. On an integrated platform linked to Google Sky, everyone could select their favorite Bowie song and attach it to a star within the constellation. By adding a personal text, users could say goodbye in their own way. Stardust for Bowie was launched exactly 1 day after Bowie's death. It immediately became a trending topic on social media, and soon it was the most viral article in the global press.
Now Belgian astronomers have paid tribute to him by giving him a place among the stars.
What started out as a modest tribute from a Belgian radio station turned out to be a global obituary with 13 billion impressions. Stardust for Bowie gave fans worldwide the opportunity to express their grief in a single place, keeping the memory of David Bowie alive. The image of the constellation became a symbol for Bowie's legacy. Even Bowie's friends say this was the most meaningful tribute of them all.
After many years, Belgian telecom provider Mobistar became Orange. This meant that the 200 Mobistar shops no longer needed their Mobistar letters. That's 1,600 letters, which we decided to give to our loyal customers as a final farewell gift. All they had to do was use the letters to make their own word, something that mattered to them. The campaign inspired people with endless possibilities of the Mobistar letter combination. In a little less than 3 weeks' time, over 150,000 people visited the website. The most original entries were rewarded with their own word in the iconic Mobistar letters. So the Mobistar letters shined on, and the tone was set for the launch of Orange. Orange, it's all about what matters to you.
There is something magical about book signings. With one stroke of the pen, your individual copy becomes unique. But what about all those authors who are not around anymore? What if we could still get their autograph today? The impossible signing sessions. We brought the iconic Flemish poet Paul van Ostaaien back to life for one last signing session. A robot arm, normally used for medical purposes, was needed to pull off the stunt. It was the only robot arm that could imitate the delicate movements of his handwriting. We carefully analyzed Paul's manuscripts, creating a Van Ostaaien font, enabling people to write personal messages. After numerous tests, Paul was ready to autograph the reissue of his masterpiece, Music Hall, published exactly 100 years ago. The result impressed Van Ostaaien experts and journalists, who received the first signed copies.
Op de boekenbeurs in Antwerpen staat een bijzondere attractie, een robot die signeert. Hij zou dat heel grappig gevonden hebben, denk ik.
The impossible signing sessions were held during the Antwerp Book Fair. Paul the robot signed for 12 days on end, and he was not alone. 7 other world-renowned authors who could not be present agreed to let their handwriting be digitalized. Visitors were delighted to get a personal message from their literary heroes. The press coverage had the same reach as a national campaign, boosting Bol.com's brand awareness and pushing sales to a historic high. And Paul, well, he enjoyed the same popularity as in his heyday, proving that Bol.com knows readers' passions more than any other bookstore.
Currency is the world's oldest, most shared media, but it's also the most difficult to have made. We needed the agreement of all 19 European governments of the Eurozone to produce and circulate 1 million €2 coins with the face of Liam van den Branden, a child who sadly enough has been missing for 20 years, but whose family has never lost hope. Finally, on International Missing Children's Day, Child Focus, the Belgian Centre for Missing Children, brought the coins of hope into circulation. For the first time ever, these Euro coins show the face of a missing child, and even the Child Focus website, with information on all missing children. The supporting campaign simply asked people to spend the coins of hope as quickly as possible. We got the support of banks and supermarket chains, all the way to local shops. Custom TV commercials referred to the product that was just seen in the previous commercial, encouraging people to pay for it with the coins.
Pay for your snacks with coins of hope and help spread hope for every missing child.
But not without first sharing a picture of it with #CoinsOfHope, or doing a coin swap with any other coin. Politicians and celebrities shared the coins, making Liam's face as famous as theirs. Both national and international news channels quickly followed, spreading hope for all missing children across Europe and even the world. "250,000 children are reported missing every year in Europe. That's one child every 2 minutes. Fortunately, most of them already have smartphones, so they can easily call their parents if something's wrong. But what if they don't have their smartphones with them? Do they know their parents' phone number by heart?
0477 Thank you.
Missing Children Europe wants all children to know their parents' phone number. Introducing Remember, a free app that changes your child's smartphone passcode into a phone number. So each time they unlock their phone, instead of entering a random passcode, they now have to practice your phone number.
Because the children are remembering and manually typing the number multiple times a day, it becomes a physical routine for the children.
It's really an extremely simple educational tool, using the same medium as they would eventually use to type in the number. So no more need to write down the telephone number on their hand or on their bracelet. It's just engraved in their brains and in their fingers.
Remember was launched in 15 European countries simultaneously, with a website, online film, outdoor posters, and a coordinated PR strategy. Media all over Europe talked about it. Parents loved it. And even police forces shared the campaign.
0477 225 222 119.
It took the average child only 2 days to remember their parents' phone number. And with the number of children with smartphones skyrocketing worldwide, Remember could help every child to memorize their parents' phone number.
Ahoy. Ahoy, Dasho. To jsem já.
Vous envoyez un SMS au 3063.
Ga naar radio1.be of bel 08.
On average, radio hosts ask their listeners to use their phone 46 times a day. But 80% of all Belgians listen to the radio while driving. That's why the organization Parents of Road Victims organized a national call to all radio hosts.
Cher présentateur radio.
Actual parents of children who died in a traffic accident launched a touching online video in which they proposed a simple yet unique solution.
C'est pourquoi nous avons créé le safety jingle.
This is how the safety jingle sounds.
Mais s'il vous plaît, pas de GSM au volant.
Un message des parents d'enfants victimes de la route. Comme nous.
And this is how it works. Right after radio hosts ask you to use your phone,
un SMS au 3063.
They can now play the safety jingle.
Mais s'il vous plaît, pas de GSM au volant.
The jingle was made downloadable as a finished track, but radio hosts could also download an extensive set of audio layers to create a safety jingle that fits the sound identity of their radio show. The video request was spread online and directly targeted at Belgium's most famous radio hosts.
Gaëtan Bartosz, David Antoine.
To increase social pressure, everybody could, through pre-programmed tweets and posts, personally activate their favorite radio host to start using the safety jingle. Within hours, the first radio host responded live on air.
Een heel bijzonder videoverzoek.
Met een passende jingle.
En we gaan hem gebruiken.
They even started to encourage each other.
Fikke-moi.
Sparking conversation and debate.
Graag weten of u het ook soms doet.
Want jij zet me achter het stuur verdrievoudigt de kans op een ongeluk.
On all possible channels. And after only 3 days, 95% of all Belgian radio stations were actively using the safety jingle, turning it into a permanent tool for radio hosts to help save lives.